Hey guys, it's Lexi. I am bringing an Empties and What I've Been Warming video to you today. This was a melting basket that I themed March in the mountains, I believe. And it was pretty much just me trying to use up all of my winter themed wax melts. I am a little bit late. We're about probably halfway or just shy of halfway through the month of April. And I want to apologize for getting this video up so late to you guys. We have had a lot of life happen to us lately. We've had some like health things that we've been dealing with for Tom. We had a loss in the family. We've had a lot of stuff going on within our businesses. So just a lot of stuff happening. So without going too much into detail, or else I would be talking to the camera literally for 24 hours probably straight, because there's been so much going on. I'm just going to make it brief and say lots of highs, lots of lows, but I am kind of having to address my melting, I guess, because it's changing big time. Recently we found out that Tom's allergies are actually more severe than we thought. We thought just because he wasn't like actively showing his allergies to cats that he was not allergic anymore, or like that he'd become immune. Unfortunately, he's been getting sick a lot, and after like multiple doctor's visits and everything, he ended up finding out that he actually does have a pretty severe allergy to cats, and that his body has just been fighting so hard to not like, I don't know, just like swell up all the time, I guess, or whatever. That his body's been fighting so hard that his immune system has completely been weakened, like destroyed. So with that happening, we had to readjust things in our house, because we are not like going to get rid of our cats. Like that, our cats are our children, so we are making the sacrifice to adjust things so he can be healthy, so we can keep the cats, and so everything can be good. So we ended up moving everything that was downstairs, like our guest bedroom, my office, and like the main like living area kind of stuff, upstairs into like this. It's like a suite, like a master bedroom suite. So there's like 2 rooms upstairs here, and we ended up moving the guest bedroom in the bedroom here, my office in the bedroom, and then this room, this yellow room that we're in right now, this is kind of like the new living room area. And the cats are up here full time with all their food and water and litter boxes and everything, and they are honestly very content up here, which is great. And we just have the area downstairs completely like cleared out for just Tom. Not just Tom, obviously I let Tom there too, but no cats allowed downstairs. So we're just trying to make this work. But because of that, we are also trying to, I had to move a bunch of my wax stuff, because we're also trying to test out not melting wax as much down there. We're going to give it like at least probably till the end of this month of April, and then depending on how he's feeling, maybe start to introduce some wax back in. We don't know what the allergy, we're thinking the allergies are mostly to the cats, but we're just trying to rule out everything. We had somebody come and like clean out our air ducts. We did like an insane top to bottom washing walls, scrubbing everything, ceilings, floors, intense cleaning session of our entire house. All of this was happening while we were dealing with Tom's grandma, who passed away, and that just very sad loss, a really hard loss for the family. And it's just like, it's just been a lot. So I feel like now that everything is moved upstairs here, the melting is going to be a lot weirder for me. I'm not melting in the main area downstairs in my kitchen and my living room and our bedroom and our bathroom. Like it's just like there's 2 rooms up here and a small bathroom. So melting is going to be a little bit weird for the moment, which is why my melting for this last month and a half has been really weird, and I didn't finish as much as I wanted. And that my next melting basket that maybe you'll check out if you want to, is going to be significantly smaller. So Let me get to the empties. So I'm going to go ahead and sort through everything, and I'm going to try to do the timestamps now that I've kind of figured out how to do that. For a while there, YouTube was just doing timestamps on its own for me, which I loved. But I think I've figured out how to do the timestamps now. So I'll do those if you guys want to check out per vendor. And because I didn't empty as much, but I still was melting a lot, I'm just going to kind of combine the empties and what I melted together. So just go per vendor that way, rather than saying this is all of the empties, these are all of the non-empties, but I melted them, kind of a thing. So, okay, I'm going to pause this, sort through, and then I will start sharing my wax thoughts. So first vendor I want to talk about is Teddy Bees. I believe this is the vendor that I melted most of probably this past month and a half. First one I'll talk about, I guess, is Blueberry Cheesecake Waffles. This scent is blueberries, creamy cheesecake, butter pecan waffles, and maple syrup. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with this scent overall. Sometimes it depends. Cheesecake notes can come across a little sour smelling. I've definitely smelled a few blends where the cheesecake is a little off. This one I felt like didn't really do that. This was a good creamy cheesecake. It definitely smells like cheesecake, but it's, I think, a little bit heavier on the blueberry note. And the blueberry kind of smells like almost like a blueberry pie kind of a scent. It doesn't say blueberry pies, it just says blueberries. But then there is that bakery note, I guess, of the butter pecan waffles. Maybe is helping that. It doesn't smell like the what is it, blueberry pancake scent. There's a scent from Bath and Body Works, a candle, I think. It's called like blueberry pancakes, right? Personally, I don't love that scent, so I was nervous that this would kind of smell like that, and it doesn't. I like the scent. I don't know if it's one that I would necessarily like go out of my way to repurchase, but I did enjoy it. It was like a creamy bakery blueberry type of scent. It was nice. I enjoyed it. A good performer. It was like I melted this probably first half of this downstairs multiple times in my guest bedroom at the time. And then I finished this up in the like bedroom area upstairs here now between two warmers, and then finished it up now today here in this living room, which maybe once I get this area a little bit more tidy up here, because it's a little bit in chaos mode, maybe I'll give you guys like a little tour of the new space up here. New old space, not really new, but melting, I assume, is going to change. Like performance is going to change because I'm upstairs in a new space that I'm not normally melting in. So this scent performed well downstairs and upstairs, which is good. So upstairs is a much significantly smaller area than downstairs was, though. So that's gonna make things more powerful. So also you're probably gonna see me melting less because I'm not able to push through as much as I used to, I guess. So, but anyway, moving on. Next I have Do More. This scent is creme brulee, vanilla cake pops, and vanilla cream. This scent I melted completely downstairs. I didn't get a chance to try this one upstairs. I maybe would have actually, it probably would have performed really well upstairs. It didn't perform poorly downstairs. It wasn't a bad performer. It was definitely a medium, which I assumed with the scent notes that it was going to be a light performer, and it wasn't. So for that reason, I was pleasantly surprised and impressed with the scent. The scent itself is interesting. I honestly can't say I've ever had creme brulee. I don't think I've ever tried creme brulee. It's like it's like a custard, right? With like I'm not like a big custard person or pudding person or anything. It's a texture thing for me. But so I can't say that I know what creme brulee really smells like, because I've never had it. But I guess that this kind of smells like creme brulee. But at the same time, there is something about the scent, and I have kind of found that, and I've mentioned it before on my channel, with a lot of the Teddy Bee scents, sometimes they just end up leaning a little body care, or a little bit like, I don't know, there's something a little bit more, like fancy smelling about them. They just like, if it's a food scent, sometimes it smells like a perfume version of the food, or like a body care kind of version of the food, or like I don't know. But in this one, it didn't, to me, it didn't just smell like a creme brulee. Like, it didn't just smell like a dessert. It smells like something like there's a word I'm looking for, like a gourmand scented perfume. Like, I could see wearing this as a perfume, honestly, because it's like a warm, rich, vanilla-y kind of a scent. I don't know. It's very pretty. I really didn't like enjoy the scent. I don't know if I would also, similar as the last blueberry cheesecake waffles, I enjoyed the scent, but I don't know if this is one that I feel like, especially with my collection as large as it is, I don't know if this is something that I would necessarily go out of my way to like be like, I need to repurchase more of this. However, if that sounds good to you, like kind of like a gourmand perfumey kind of a scent, this one surprisingly definitely was not a super strong performer, but I expected a lot less and it gave me a lot more. So I'm impressed with that for that reason. So both of these were about the same, like good mediums for me, which I melted them in relatively small areas, but still really happy with those. Okay, next I will talk about Jamboree. And Jamboree is wild berry jam donuts, fresh baked bread, and a hint of sugar and spice. This one boils down to just a scent preference kind of a thing. I think for me personally, this was a little bit too bready, a little bit too yeasty. To me, I don't know. I'm just, fresh baked bread scents in general typically are not favorite scents of mine. It's just, I don't know, my nose just doesn't love them. But I can see, if I were to enjoy that scent, I could see the appeal behind this. This wasn't like a scent preference thing for me. So probably wouldn't repurchase this scent. However, this one was even stronger than the last two. So this one was a very strong performer, did great in my house. I melted this in pretty much every area of my home, and it did good in all of the areas, and multiple different warmers. So that one was really a good performer. Just wasn't like scent for me. But if you love fresh baked bread, you'd probably love that. It was like, it just smelled like a berry jam, like a wild berry jam kind of a scent on bread. That's the vibe. I didn't get a whole lot of donut. It wasn't spicy at all. No, I didn't get any spice in that, but that was Jamboree. Next, I have Tiff's Favorite Coffee, and Tiff's Favorite Coffee has notes of sweet cream, bakery dough, rich espresso, sugar and spice topped with frothy milk. So supposedly the sugar and spice is in this and in this. I can't say I really noticed anything spicy about it. It must just be like kind of a sweet, maybe like a sweet cinnamon scent. I'm not entirely sure. This wasn't a good coffee. It was an okay coffee. It was just, I don't know. It just was kind of like a standard coffee. It wasn't too, sometimes coffees can be a little bit like bitter smelling. It wasn't bitter smelling. And sometimes coffee scents can be overly sweet, and it wasn't overly sweet. It just was kind of just like, it just smelled like kind of just a general coffee. I don't know. It was a non-offensive coffee scent. So I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would actively seek it out again, but once again, same as the first few, just happy I melted it. No complaints, just happy I melted it. And sometimes I feel like for me, I am just trying really hard to actively be decisive about what I'm bringing back into my collection. And if I've tried something from a vendor and I wasn't like head over heels in love with it, then it's probably not going to be a repurchase for me. So I'm being a little bit more critical, but they're still, all of these have been good scents. No complaints about any of them. Just trying to be critical, trying to take a mental note for myself here. Okay. I have two that are kind of similar. So this first one is a souffle I finished in Winterfell, layered with vanilla balsam and magic in the air. So this was like, yeah, a triple layer. And then this one here is a tub in Winterfell, and I did use a quarter of this tub. So notes for Winterfell are marshmallow fireside, Palo Santo, white birch, icy snow, and vanilla. And then the notes for the other combination one are vanilla balsam, which that's a Bath and Body Works type, and magic in the air, which is also a Bath and Body Works type. And magic in the air's gotta have like a floral. There's gotta be some kind of a floral in it, because it does definitely lean a little florally, but it's really pretty. So overall, I do definitely enjoy Winterfell. Winterfell is a scent from Teddy Bees that for me, in my opinion, it's incredibly, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I can't speak today. It puts you in a story. Like it transports you somewhere. It's a scent that really like makes you feel like an atmospheric scent. Is that what I'm looking for? Is that the word I'm looking for? It takes you to a type of place. Like Winterfell to me smells like you're outside in the woods. It is cold and snowy outside, but it's like a lot of snow, but there's a fresh layer that's adding like this crispness, and you can smell almost like the needles on the trees. It's a very clean, fresh winter type of scent. The name is perfect for it. And then this one was just layered with the other scents. I think I probably just prefer Winterfell on its own. I honestly felt like in this is pretty much the only thing I could really smell when I did melt these all layered together. I had just a tiny, like a quarter left of the souffle, and I ended up actually splitting the layers in half. And Winterfell I did melt separately on its own in one room, and then the magic in the air and vanilla balsam I melted separately in another room. And I think I preferred it. I almost think I preferred it better that way, because I just felt like the other scents were getting overtaken by the Winterfell, which is a pretty strong scent. So yeah, if I saw this combination again, maybe I'd pick it up, because I really like the magic in the air scent. Honestly, I would like to see just magic in the air back for Teddy Bees, because it was really pretty. But yeah, I also just like Winterfell on its own. So I probably just prefer to have these both separate. I can't talk today, you guys. Great scent, no issues. Yeah, Winterfell's a good scent. Also, I think Carter is one that came out in the last pre-order. Maybe it was available in this one again. I did just get my Teddy Bees order today, so I'll also be hauling that and sharing that video. I'm gonna try to get this one up first though, so we'll see. Okay, moving on. I have a few Brittas. I have one planchette shape. This is like the shape that goes on top of the Ouija board. This is in Hannah Cranna, which is one of my personal favorite scents from Britta's Creepy Treasures. I love the scent. Cannot talk more highly about it. She did have this available in a pre-order, and if I didn't already have like 3 multiple bags of backups in this scent, I probably would have gotten a loaf in this. However, like I said, I have like 3 multiple backups of this scent, so I did get a souffle. I got another souffle because this is such a favorite scent, but I was like, reel it back, don't get the loaf, because like your wax bins are overflowing. So, okay. Anyway, Hannah Cranna, the notes of this are roasted pine cone, Palo Santo, and pink sugar. The combination of these 3 scents it's magical. Honestly, I'm not overplaying this. Like, it is such a good scent. I used to not really like pink sugar. I still am like incredibly picky when it comes to pink sugar, because it can be too sharp, perfumey, headache inducing sometimes to me. But the sweetness from that pink sugar scent with like the more like woodsy Palo Santo and the woodsy pine cone note, and the roasted pine cone note has like this kind of warmth. I know there's like a vanilla sandalwood note within the pine cone, roasted pine cone oil. So it's like this warm, deep I don't know. It's just like this warm, deep, like sweet vanilla-y, woodsy note mixed with like that sweet, bright pink sugar. And it like they hit each other at this perfect balance. And it's so beautiful. And this scent, I'm telling you guys, it goes and 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 it lasts forever, which is another reason why I'm like, if I got a loaf, I'd have it for like 10 years because the scent lasts forever and it lingers. And it's one of those, like, you don't want to take it out of your warmer because every time you go to, it's like, I still smell it and I don't want to pull it yet. So cannot speak more highly of Hannah Cranna. If you've not tried Hannah Cranna, this is a scent that needs to be hyped up. It's worth the hype. It is an amazing scent. So that's Hannah Cranna. I've talked enough about that, but it's good. And then this is a loaf that I did a custom with Britta a while ago. It's, I called it Spark It Up. It's patchouli, crackling birch, by the campfire, and marshmallow balm. And the by the campfire oil, her oil has, I'll see if I can find the notes and like list them, but it has patchouli within it. And I think blackberry, right? Blackberry and patchouli and stuff like that. This is a really nice, like, Britta's patchouli is incredible. It's a really well done patchouli. And then paired with that, like by the fireplace, by the campfire scent. It's just like heightens the patchouliness, which I'm a big patchouli fan. Not just Britta's patchouli, but I like patchouli scents in general. Britta's definitely got the best. And her patchouli is a good one for people that don't even like patchouli. That tells you how good it is. And then paired with like the woodsy birch and the marshmallow balm, it just is like this like really outdoorsy fall type scent. This definitely is a very fall type blend to me. And even when I was melting it now, I was like, you know what, it can work for winter, but it just, something about it just smells like fall to me. So it was still performing. It was doing really, really well. Only like small, tiny little chunks of that in my living room still my living room, but downstairs living room. And it was just doing so well that I was like, I don't need to try to rush and finish it up. So I'm just going to finish that bag up probably in the next fall. So, but really, really, really good scent. So let's move on to some Empire Alchemy. I finished a whole bag here. This is in Gray Days, it's called. This is White Woods, Palo Santo, Leather, Vetiver, and Marshmallow with Amber. I feel like last month I didn't have the best performance with a lot of my Empire Alchemy scents. But then this month, this bag and this scent were both extremely good performers and I really enjoyed. So these would both be repurchases for me in the future. Well, once I finish the second bag, but Gray Days is a really, really good scent. So I think there also is something to be said about the uniqueness of this blend, like woods, Palo Santo, and then you pair it with leather. Like, I don't know, leather, vetiver, marshmallow, amber. It just was so like, I could smell the leather when I melted it too, but it wasn't like, oh, that smells like an armchair, you know, or like it smells like too like rawhidey, you know what I'm saying? Like animal-y. I don't know if that makes any sense. Sometimes you like certain leather scents smell like too realistic, but this just smelled like warm, like luxurious, like, I don't know, just like a really like sharp dressed man with like a nice like sweet gourmandy cologne on that was like a little sweet, like, I don't know, it was just, I liked this. And I remember liking this last year when I melted this, or earlier in the fall, I don't remember. I remember previously melting this and enjoying it, but I also really enjoyed it this time, and it was a very good performer, and definitely I would repurchase that. That was Gray Days from Empire Alchemy. This one, also Empire Alchemy, this is called, I think it's technically called Velicor or Velichor, I don't know. It is cedarwood, teakwood, hint of leather again, parchment, mahogany, and a hint of mint. I'm starting to think there's leather in both of these. Maybe I just really like Empire Alchemy's leather scent. I also really enjoy the Empire Alchemy scent note, like the golden sand oil that she uses. And I bet you golden sands with leather would be an interesting, nice scent. I'm thinking about something. Anyway, yeah, this scent is so unique. I have not smelled anything like this before. And part of me was like, is this going to smell like the library oil that's kind of out there in the vendor wax world? And it's not. This is something like completely unique. Maybe the library oil's within this? I don't know, maybe? I don't know, I don't think so. But it's just so, it's like, it definitely smells like, once again, like a good leather, not a weird leather. And I do get a hint of mint in this, which it does say a hint of mint, but it's definitely like noticeably there. Yeah, and it's woodsy, mahogany, cedarwood, teakwood. It's like a woodsy, sweet, leathery, slightly minty. I don't know. It's just honestly, and then this one in the warmers, like it smells okay in the bag. But when I warmed this up, I kept walking in that room because it was in my guest room downstairs at the time. I kept walking in my room and I was like, this is so good. Like, what is this? Every time I'd be like, this scent is so good. This scent is so good. It's like I kept just like going in there just to be surrounded by the scent. So that one was Velicor, I believe. It must mean something. Maybe it means something about like a library or books if I had to guess. But yeah, great scent. Really good scent. I'm so happy with that. Really, really good. All right, next off, I want to talk about my Zeep. I have, I'll talk about this one first. This one's Obsessed, it's called. Obsessed is New Cologne, Palo Santo, and Bold Merlot. So to me, it smells like Black Cherry Merlot from Bath and Body Works. Like that's the Merlot scent that to me, it smells like Black Cherry Merlot, which I know, I think, last time I remember, I know a lot of people weren't super big on that scent. I'm curious, if you enjoy Black Cherry Merlot from Bath and Body Works, let me know down below, because for a while there, back when I was like intensely into Bath and Body Works, I know like it was either you loved Black Cherry Merlot or you hated it, but I always kind of liked it. I didn't have an issue with that, but it smells like that is in here, mixed with like definitely some kind of like more, how do I say, like a more mature men's cologne. Like it's not like a fresh aquatic-y kind of smelling, like youthfully kind of cologne. It's definitely a much more like spiced, like a spicy kind of cologne, but like a more mature man would wear it. And I guess I get a hair of the Palo Santo, but it's more just like the sweet berry Merlot scent mixed with like a peppery cologne, that kind of a scent. And honestly, this works. I did not think that I would like the scent that much, but when I warmed it, and I only warmed this in my bathroom downstairs, but every time I warmed it, I was like, this is really nice. It was not, honestly, this was not a very super strong scent, but it filled up the bathroom, and it was like a light medium in there. So I liked it. It was an interesting scent. Possibly I would pick this up again. Possibly. But yeah, it was very interesting, and I honestly have to applaud the combination of those notes because it worked. And who would have thought? You know, not me. That's why I'm not blending wax. Okay, next I have Pillow Talk. This is from Zeep as well. It's clean sheets, pomegranate, peach, and flower petals. This is a beautiful laundry scent, and it's not headache inducing. It's not like sharp. It is floral. It's definitely floral. I can smell a lot of floral in it, but it's not, I'm gonna see if I can explain this in a normal way. This to me doesn't smell like pure laundry detergent with like flowers in it. Like the scent of flowers is within the laundry detergent. This to me smells like you had like a floral scented laundry detergent, but you were hanging it on the line outside, but there were actual real flowers near it. So it smells like real flowers and fresh, clean laundry. It does say peach and pomegranate. Maybe a little bit, but mostly it's like a fresh floral scent with a laundry note. It's really, really pretty. Honestly, I really like the scent. Pillow Talk is, I think available on the website. now. I think this was part of the spring collection and maybe is still available. I'd have to check, but it's a good scent. Definitely a nice scent. And a little piece of that goes a long way. So I only finished up one bunt, but yeah, definitely I'm sure it'll last longer. I'll probably pull it out midsummer. 2 from Southbound, one that I finished up in a souffle of Feelin' Naughty, and this is warm salty pretzels, glazed cinnamon donuts, and sugar cookie dough. This scent I believe was offered in their last pre-order. I did place an order, I think, with them, but I don't think I got this. I can't remember. Anyway, I do have a haul from them that I filmed before everything kind of hit the fan at our house here. So, I'll have to edit that video and get that up for you guys. I'll probably get that up sometime this week, but, yeah. So anyway, back to the scent. Feeling Naughty. This scent was really nice. Definitely a very pretty scent. Very realistic, warm, soft, slightly like you do get like kind of like a yeast kind of like realistic pretzel note in here, which for me I'm not usually huge on, but I know some people love that note because it adds like that realistic kind of effect to it. And there is definitely a salty component to this. It is very realistic. There's this is a realistic salty soft pretzels kind of a scent. I liked it, but I think this kind of boils down to, once again, like a scent preference thing. I think I'm learning that I'm not actually that huge on pretzel notes in wax. So this probably wouldn't be a repurchase for me just because scent preferences. But if you are a fan of like a realistic, warm, soft pretzel, Feelin' Naughty does smell just like a warm, soft pretzel. So for that reason, you know, great. And a good performer, no issues. Okay, this next scent here is Cozy Vibes. This is vanilla sugar, vanilla orchid, cedarwood, smooth musk, leather, sandalwood, and rich amber. And I am realizing, as I'm looking at all of these bags of wax here, the things that I found that I really enjoyed this past month and a half, actually a lot of them have either amber, sandalwood, cedarwood, or leather in them. This melting basket was a lot of those types of scents, so that's not surprising, but I really, really enjoyed a lot of more leather scents than I thought that I would. Anyway, this scent here, Cozy Vibes from Southbound Candle Co. I had a sample in this scent that I melted in a bathroom one time, like last year, year before maybe. And I remember loving it so much that I went out and I bought this whole souffle. Well, I ended up taking the little embed off the top of this and melting that in my bathroom and thinking like, okay, I'll melt that and then I'll cut into the rest of this later. No, because that little tiny embed lasted in my bathroom for like 3 or 4 days. I wish I was joking. I'm not. I don't wish I was joking. I'm really happy it lasted so long. But it just kept going and going and going. And it was so strong and it was so beautiful. Which I turn off my wax warmer at night. So keep that in mind. It wasn't just like over and over. But amazing. It just was a really good performer. I just remember being very impressed by it. The scent in general was just like warm and rich and slightly masculine and like fresh and earthy. And it was just so good. So if you see, I probably won't be back anytime soon because Southbound, they're probably like transitioning into like summer scents now, probably even past spring at this point. But if you are on the page and you happen to see that this is offered, or like next fall if this comes out, Cozy Vibes, I know I'm gonna get some more of this to have another backup, but also recommend. This one is Toast and Jam. It's sweet strawberry, blackberry, raspberry jam, French toast, and a side of cheesecake. So I talked about a cheesecake scent earlier, the Teddy B's blueberry cheesecake waffle scent. And this is unfortunately a cheesecake scent that it didn't quite hit the mark for me or Tom. Tom definitely was like, I think he was like, you got to turn the warmer off, Lex. But I mean, it was fun. It wasn't that bad. For me, I didn't mind it as much as he did. But this cheesecake did come across slightly more like a little bit sour. So that wasn't, you know, great about this blend. But one thing that was great about this blend is the sweet strawberry, blackberry, and raspberry jam, which that section of scent notes I have melted separately on its own from Southbound as a blend called wild berry jam, maybe, or some kind of a jam scent. And those jams are really, really delicious. Like it's a realistic scent. It smells like real, like macerated berries. It's juicy and yummy. So that part of this melt I really loved. It's just the cheesecake and French toast part didn't necessarily hit the mark for us. But either way, this was a good, strong performer. No issues with performance. Just another scent preference kind of a thing there. So that was toast and jam. 3 cents here from the Bathing Garden. I have another kind of a strange one here. This is Chestnut Lodge. So I melted another scent from the Bathing Garden in, I think it was like chestnuts and pine cones, I believe is the name of it. And that scent, I remember when I melted it, had this really strange, unexplainable note of like a Coca-Cola scent, or like almost like a flat Coca-Cola syrup. If you guys have ever, this is really specific, but if you guys have ever worked at like a convenience store or a like a fast food restaurant or anything like that, and you've ever had to fill the soda fountain machine and you have to put the syrup bag, you have to put the bag of syrup with, you know, in the machine separately from like the water, whatever, like the bubbly carbonated water thing. Gosh, I can't talk. It's getting late, you guys. I can't talk. If you guys have ever had to put like a syrup bag of Coca-Cola into a machine, you'll know the exact scent I'm talking about. That's the note that I get in here. So almost like the syrup of the Coca-Cola. That's the vibe from this. And I don't know why, but I kind of got that in here. But I got it mixed with like an outdoorsy kind of, I don't know, just like an outdoorsy cologne, almost like a once again like a more mature men's cologne scent. So it's almost like if you took a mature men's cologne, added some like maybe like a Palo Santo like outdoorsy woodsy kind of a scent, and a little bit of like a Coca-Cola syrup. It's super weird. It sounds weird, but that's what I got from this. And I think because it was so confusing to my nose, I couldn't let myself enjoy it. But if it had a name like with Coca-Cola in it, then I would have been like, oh yeah, Coca-Cola. I knew what I was getting into, but because it didn't, I was confused by it. But that was Chestnut Lodge. I probably wouldn't repurchase it because it confused my brain, but still a good scent. It performed fine. One that I have repurchased and I will always repurchase. I love the scent. It's so good, you guys. This is Winter Masquerade from the Bathing Garden. This was in like a little shape of like a mitten. Really cute. The Bathing Garden has the cutest wax ever. This was adorable and I hated chopping it, but I'm so happy I did because it's such a good scent. I'll see if I can try to figure out the scent notes and leave them up here for you guys. But all I know is that it's like this, to me, it kind of smells like this really rich, warm, slightly like maybe like a floral kind of perfumey kind of quality. I wonder if there's amber in here again. I don't know, but there's some kind of like a warm, I think it must be a floral kind of note in here with like a vanilla. Oh, maybe it's like almond. It's so unique and it's like creamy and warm and sweet. And it's a beautiful scent and I love it. This is honestly one of my favorites as well. Winter Masquerade from the Bathing Garden does not also get enough hype. Delicious. Another one from the Bathing Garden that I found that I really enjoyed. This is Penguin Parade. Melted this, did not finish it. However, I'm really happy to save more of this because I enjoyed it so much. I'm going to want to melt this again next winter. I could even see melting this in the summer. I believe the scent notes for this are spearmint and I think strawberry. I want to say strawberry. Yeah. I think it's like spearmint and strawberry. And it's so interesting. Spearmint, similar to like the leather scent, is another one that I think I've recently kind of been like, oh, I think I like that in wax. Like, and that's what I love about wax, is like when you try different things and you discover the things you like. I think I have found that I actually really enjoy spearmint, and spearmint is a scent that I hope to see more of next winter in the vendor wax community world. And I hope to see a little bit more leather. That would be amazing. A little bit more leather, a little bit more spearmint. I'd be a happy girl. But yeah, this scent was so strong. I had this split between 2 hot plate warmers at the time in my kitchen. And the performance was great. No issues. And it went for a while. It went for like the whole day. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was like fresh, clean, sweet. I honestly definitely could see melting it in the heat of the summer, because it would probably feel like cool and refreshing with the strawberry. Really like that scent. So bravo to the Shannon, I believe, from the Bathing Garden. I don't know if she came up with that or what, but it's such a good scent. Okay. I have 3 from That Smell Good shop, and all of these were so interesting. These were all customer blends. So if you made these blends and you're happening to watch, that would be crazy. But let me know. So first one I have is Cedar, Red Currant, Plum Delicious, and Sweet Winterberry. I like this one. I have another scent here from Rose Girls in Winterberry, which I believe is the fragrance oil that was in here and in that one, because it smelled kind of similar to me. And Winterberry kind of reminds me of this Winterberry oil that I think is in both of these. Reminds me of that Winterberry apple tea gum. My grandma used to chew that all the time. So it reminds me of that. But this was for me predominantly like the red currant and cedar note, which was really nice. I did get a little bit of the Winterberry. I didn't really get a whole lot of the Plum Delicious. But it was like a pretty outdoorsy winter type of like scent. I liked it. I don't know if I'd probably repurchase this one, but I'm happy that I used it. It was nice. This one, I always have to make a mental note when Tom says he enjoys something. Tom said he enjoyed this. It's Cabin in the Woods, Cashmere Woods, and Invictus type, which is a cologne scent. And he said he really liked this. I melted this only in the bathroom. I also really liked this. And it is just, to me, it was more of the Invictus type that kind of ruled the scent. It did smell a little bit woodsy. But yeah, it was a really nice, it was just like a really nice, fresh, outdoorsy, not sharp in a bad way, but the cologne itself is kind of sharp smelling. So it had kind of like a little zing to it. It was really nice. I liked it. No complaints. And then this one is also from That Smell Good shop. Another customer blend in Lucky Clover, Patchouli Rain, and Rosemary Mint. And this one to me was mostly the Rosemary Mint with the Patchouli Rain next. Lucky Clover. I don't know if I could necessarily smell clover. This was fun. I actually ended up melting this one on St. Patrick's Day. I do remember that, because I was like, clover, I should melt this one. So that was fun. I liked it. It was a very, very fresh, clean rosemary. If you've smelled rosemary mint, that oil in different blends, it was predominantly the rosemary mint with like a little bit of an aquatic background to it. So it was pretty. I liked it. Maybe that's probably the one. Probably the last 2, Cabin in the Woods and Lucky Clover one. These 2 are probably ones that I'd maybe consider getting more of, or at least probably doing blends of. I'd like to try that Lucky Clover oil on its own from That Smell Good shop, and I'd also really like to try the Invictus type cologne note on its own, and the plum delicious. I would be interested in trying more of that from them. So I really love that Smell Good shop. They've got some great stuff, and I really like that you can do customs anytime, which is great. Moving on, I have 4 bags of Rose Girls. Let me talk about that Winterberry scent since I was just talking about it. So this is Frosted Winterberry. I believe, like I said, same thing as that last. I believe it's the same thing, maybe. In here, since it's just the Frosted Winterberry, it definitely smells like, it does smell like that gum, that Winterberry tea gum. There's no tea note in this. It doesn't say Winterberry tea, but if you've ever smelled the Winterberry tea gum, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's what this smells like to me, with a little bit more of a, obviously the gum's not going to really, well, juicy fruit gum tastes juicy, but I was going to say that gum's obviously not juicy, but there is like a definitely like a juicy kind of quality to this. But then there is something that's very like, I don't know. It does smell like fresh. Like, I don't know. It just, the only way I can describe it is it reminds me of the Winterberry tea gum. That's the best that I got. It's a very unique scent. It's a juicy berry scent, but it's a very unique juicy berry scent. It's not like a drink. To me, it doesn't smell like a juicy juice fruit juice. There's a fuzz. It doesn't smell like a juicy juice fruit juice kind of a scent, or like, doesn't smell like I can't compare it to any other berries. It's because it's so unique, but it's nice. I like it. I still have a lot of this, so I'm not going to actively seek it out. And then maybe. Next one that I melted partially, but didn't finish. This is Say It Ain't Snow. And it's notes of Fraser Fir, crisp winter air, vanilla bean noel, and peppermint sticks. I absolutely loved this scent. This was so good. So good. This is not Jenny's peppermint scent that, like, I don't think that this is her peppermint scent that she puts in a lot of her things. Like her OG peppermint, I don't believe it is. I don't think so. I also don't have it to compare to right now, but it just is, it's a good peppermint. It just smells a lot sweeter, and I can't tell if it's the peppermint stick oil in general or if it's the vanilla bean noel that's added into it, but there is this really, really sweet, creamy quality to this peppermint. And then the Fraser Fir in here is just so subtle. It's so subtle, but it adds a nice depth to it. But this is a scent that even if you don't like tree scents, but you do like peppermint scents, you probably like this because it's not mostly tree. It's mostly like a really, really sweet, creamy peppermint with just a hint of tree. And then that crisp winter air scent, maybe it's adding to that kind of sweet. I don't really know what the heck that's doing in there, but I mean, it's good. This scent, the Say It Ain't Snow, I honestly love this. This is one that I am going to hope and pray this comes back next winter season, because this is one that I love. This very, very, very well done. And then I have 2 empty bags from Rose Girls here. I have Berto and Bowser's Bonfire, which is campfire marshmallows, toasted graham crackers, confetti cake, toffee butterscotch pretzels, cookie, cream cheese frosting, and marshmallow fireside. So this is, if my memory is serving me correctly, I think that this is just Cookie Land from Rose Girls mixed with toasted graham crackers in campfire marshmallow and marshmallow fireside, I think, and cream cheese frosting. Maybe, because I think Cookie Land is confetti cake, toffee butterscotch pretzels, and cookies, of course. Anyway, this is really, really nice. I remember melting this when I first got it and it not being a strong performer, and I was like, oh man, that's disappointing. So I put it away for a while, and I was nervous because sometimes bakery scents from Rose Girls don't have the best shelf life. However, this got strong and blew me away when I melted. I mean, it wasn't like blow me away with the strength, but like with how much I enjoyed the scent. It was like a good medium performer. This was a very good classic average scent, no complaints or anything. Scent, but like the scent, when I could smell it warming, I was like, whoa, I love this. And I think that campfire marshmallow note, which is that's a single oil that I think she just had this campfire marshmallow on its own offered in her last ready to ship or pre-order sale. I can't remember what it was, and I considered buying more, but I actually went through my Rose Girls bin and I saw that I have some more of this, so I didn't purchase more. But it's a really good scent. It's not like Marshmallow Fireside, and it's not like roasted marshmallows. I don't like the roasted or toasted marshmallows. I don't like that oil. It's a little too like little too sweet and like artificially sweet to my nose. But this one is really good. This toasted or campfire marshmallow scent, it's not overly smoky. It's like a very sweet smoke. Kind of reminds me of like, if you guys remember, oh gosh, I'm in a rambling mood today. I'm sorry, this video is gonna be hours long. If you guys remember growing up, at least our school, our elementary school had this thing where they brought like this fake little mini house. It was like a camper, but it looked like a little house. And we had to do like a fire alarm in it. And they had like the firemen come and they set off like this fake fire in this house, but they just had a bunch of like this really sweet smelling smoke, like a smoke machine in there. And the smoke smelled like almost like, I don't know, just like it was smoky smelling, but like sweet smoky smelling. I don't know how they made it smell like that, but it smells like that with like marshmallows. If anybody else knows, this might be just too specific of a scent memory for me, but that's what it smells like. If anybody else's school ever did that, let me know. But yeah, it's a really, really, really good scent. It's like a sweet marshmallow bakery scent. It's amazing. I really like it. If it comes back, I'll get more. 100% I'll get more. Another one, if it comes back, I'll get more. I think this was just around, I think she offered this definitely at least a couple months ago. This was offered. And I think I got a snowflake shape of this. So I think I'm probably good for a little bit, but I'd get more of this too. This is Fire Mario. It is Marshmallow Fireside, Donut Holes, and Espresso Beans. This is personally one of my favorite coffee scents out there in the vendor wax world, because the coffee doesn't come across skunky. Some coffees are a little too bitter, a little too skunky. Sometimes they're a little too sweet. This one is just like, oh, perfect. It's not overly sweet, but it's like sweet from that Marshmallow Fireside. And then the coffee itself is more of like a rich, roasted, authentic coffee. Because it does smell like the bean, you know, which I love. It almost reminds me of if you get like the chocolate covered espresso beans. Yum. That's kind of the vibe that I get from this. With the donut holes, and it just adds like a little bit more sweetness without being like overly sweet. It's so good, you guys. So Fire Mario, another fire performer. Very, very good. Always happy with that one. So yeah, love that. Happy to finish that bag. And then finally I have a bunch of Scentsy, and I didn't finish anything except for one. So let me talk about the one thing that I finished. And this scent that I finished is Plum and White Woods. I almost said White Woods and Plum. I was going backwards. This scent I actually fell in love with. I was like, I melted this, and this was another one kind of similarly to the Velocore from Empire Alchemy. I walked in the room and I forgot what I had put in there, and I was like, what am I melting? It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And every time I would walk in the room when I'd melt this, I just kept being like, this is so good. And when you do that to a wax melt, you know it's good, and you know you got to repurchase it. So this is a scent that I stuck in my Scentsy club. I had just kind of having it sit in there because I hadn't melted it yet. And I didn't want to pull it until I melted it because I knew on cold I enjoyed it. But I'm really happy that I melted it because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I've heard from some people say that this is similar to Emma of Normandy from Teddy Bees. Is that right? Is that correct? Maybe. I think somebody said that. I think a few people have said that actually. So I want to test out Emma of Normandy soon, maybe next month, and see. But this is probably going to stay in my Scentsy club because I enjoyed it thoroughly. Really, really good. So Plum and White Woods, loved that. And then I have a few. Let me talk about the ones that I will definitely can keep in my club again. This is Fluffy Fleece. I melted 2 cubes of this in our bathroom one day, and this is a scent that I fell in love with a couple of years ago now, and I've stuck it in my club every time it goes away, and I wouldn't want to be without it. It really smells like an authentic fleece blanket, fresh out of the laundry. I don't know how they did it. To me, it's crazy authentic, and kind of gives me like a nostalgic feeling when I smell this. So because of the scent memory, I'm also not going to ever take that out of my club, even though my club needs to be severely cut. And I actually did just take like at least $100 worth of bars out of my club last night, because my last Scentsy club haul that I got that came in, I forgot to cull it down, and I just been adding things that I didn't want to go away, and that shipment accidentally shipped, processed, and I was like, oh my god, that was like way too big of a shipment. So I have a plethora of things to share from that order. But yeah, I need to cull it down big time because I spend too much money on Scentsy stuff. And I'm not even like a consultant or anything. I just occasionally like to buy Scentsy because I just like wax in general, and yeah, I need to cull it down. But however, that being said, Plum and White Woods is going to stay in my club, and so is Fluffy Fleece. So you can expect that those will stay. 2 that are currently in my club that after melting 4 cubes of this past month and a half, I think I'm going to take these out of my club. So it's hard, but I had to think seriously about it. First one being Toasted Acorn and Oak, and I love this scent. And if you're screaming at the screen saying don't take it out of your club, let me know. I don't need to be convinced that hard. Honestly, I'd probably keep it. But I'm thinking I might pull this one out because I prefer Ghostly Greeting, or not Ghostly Greetings, Halloween Town. Even though those bars went up in price, so maybe I should take out Halloween Town. I do have like 10 bars of Halloween Town. Do I really need more Halloween Town? That one I prefer over this. Let me know what to do. Because this one and Halloween Town both have like the oak note in here, which is what I wish Scentsy did more oak scents like this, because I love the oak note in here. So yeah, I don't know, you guys. I'm torn. I have like 10 bars of Halloween Town. So do I necessarily need to keep it in my club? No. But I do prefer it slightly more over this one. But the thing that I like most about both of these, which is the reason why I'm comparing them, is because of that oak note. So anyway, I melted this. I thoroughly enjoy it, but I'm just, like I said, trying to cull down my Scentsy club. But that's Toasted Acorn and Oak. It's a really, really delicious, warm, woodsy, like rich, I don't know, the best way I can describe it, it's like this warm woodsy scent. It's delicious. Another warm woodsy scent is Caramel Chestnut. This one is slightly different. It doesn't have like that, I don't know. It doesn't have the oak note in here, but it still has like that warmth behind it. But this one is a significantly lighter performer than the other one, so that this one's automatically going to get pulled out. But the scent itself is also very delicious, and I still really enjoy it. And then I am going to finish it up with 3 like tree bars, I guess, from Scentsy. First one is Woodland Suede. This is one that I used 2 cubes of in our bathroom, and I'm going to keep this one. I really, really like this. At least I'm going to keep it for at least a couple more rounds to get just like a couple more bars of this. It's a really good scent, and it's incredibly unique. I've not smelled anything like this from Scentsy before, or Vendor Wax. It's just, it's like really sweet with like, I don't know. There's like, it's definitely sweet with a tree, but the tree isn't like overpowering, and it's woodsy, but it's, I don't know, you guys, it's that suede note makes it just really pretty and sweet. I just really like it. Yeah, so Woodland Suede's also staying. And then one that I'm considering probably pulling, I'll probably pull this. It's very snowy spruce. I really like it. I really, really like it. But how many like winter tree bars do I need? Not that many, honestly. How many do I have? 100 probably, if not more. So I don't need it. But this scent I do thoroughly enjoy. This is, in my opinion, one of the most just like classic tree, like spruce tree, I guess, but one of the most classic like Christmas tree scents. It just smells like a Christmas tree. It just smells like a real Christmas tree, needles and everything. So I really love it for that reason. But I don't know. I don't necessarily need it in my club. But then this one, this is another Christmas tree scent. It's icicles and evergreen. And this one, also used 2 cubes of it in my bathroom. I think I prefer this one a little bit more. And it's not the most authentic, just plain Christmas tree scent. This one has like a very bright, sweet freshness that I really enjoy. I'll probably pull out very snowy spruce. But if you have any reasonings why you think I should do something different, let me know, because my brain is just like, with everything going on, my brain is just like a puddle rolling around in my skull at this point. So I need all the help I can get. Anyway, that was it. That was my month and a half of empties and what I warmed. I'm really happy to have filmed this video with you guys, so I can now put everything back in my bins and pull out my melting basket that I'm excited to share with you. Like I said, it's going to be really small, but I am pretty excited about it, and I'm excited to see how things start working in my upstairs now that everything's kind of like resituated. So thank you guys so much for, if you are still here, taking the time to watch this video. Sometimes I feel silly standing, like sitting in front of this camera and just talking, but I also feel like it helps me a lot and always makes me feel better to do this. And I appreciate that you guys take the time out of your day to like sit down with me and chill out and talk about wax. So yeah, feeling really grateful. So thank you guys. Very sweet of you. So I hope everybody is doing well out there. If you're not, I hope you will be soon, and you will be soon. So okay, love you guys. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.